Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. This is Dave and Roxanne.
All right, walk with us again. We're gonna go find a Starbucks, I think, or somewhere. We just walked out of our hotel. We had lunch with a previous friend and was our the manager of the or the owner of the apartment that we were managing before. But anyways, if this is the person you're tuning us, let us know where you're tuning from.
Yes, we're originally from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And right now, we're here in Vancouver, BC, Canada.
That's right.
It's about an hour drive. Oh, no, an hour flight. About 13 hours drive.
It depends on how fast you go.
Yes.
From Calgary, Canada. So
We're here for an online business event that we're attending tomorrow. So that's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, we're here for 3 nights.
So every time we do this Go Love, we always have a topic, and that topic today is
The topic is don't just think it, ink it. The power of writing things down.
yeah. We talked about how not to be poor yesterday, but today we're talking about the power of writing things down. Again, this is a new answer, right? I said yesterday, you need to have better answers to problems, right? If it's a money problem, you need to have a better answer to that, so you have a better result, right? So one of the things we discovered in our journey is that to achieve the goals that you want, let's say financially, don't just think it. You have to write it down. You have to ink it because it has a way higher chance of happening. Here's the Starbucks. That was quick. It has a higher chance of happening if you write it down. In fact, we purchased a course called the Month Mentor, right? Way back 10 years back. And if you write things down, your goals on a monthly basis, it can happen automatically. Automatically. There's a study that I think is a Harvard study that when you write things down, it can increase the chance of that thing happening. I think some very high percentage, like 60+%, which is even more than that. I don't remember the stat now, but it's a very high chance of happening. So we want to talk about this topic today because we had lunch with someone, and this is not even in the finance, not even in the finance area. This is in the relationship area. It can work in any area of your life, right?
Yeah, like I think we learned this a long time ago about writing it down instead of just thinking it. Like whatever you want, right? For us, in when we had lunch with our friend, um, single guy, amazing guy. So we shared with him that he can actually write down, things that he wants for a relationship in a relationship, and he was surprised about it, and we actually said this to a lot of our friends, and those people that followed that system, writing it down, they actually attracted the right person, right? So that also applies to finances. When we prior to the online business, and even during our when we started the online business, we always write down specific things that we want to happen, things that like certain goals. That's why we're able to pay off over 700,000, including our mortgage, because we write it down.
Yeah, it's just there's a fundamental principle that when you know exactly specifically what the target is, then you know what to shoot for. But even like a more even powerful analogy that was given to me, I think it was Bo Sanchez, one of our mentors when it comes to the spiritual, talked about the analogy that God has everything available, but you just have to be specific on what you want. So it's kind of like you're ordering in God's restaurant, right? When somebody goes to you, like a waiter, for example, is like, so sir, I have everything available for you here in this menu. What do you want? What do you want for appetizer, dessert, entree, right? And you're like, anything. I just want anything. Right? It's like, sir, there's no anything in this menu. Tell me exactly what you want, right? And you're like, no, no, I just want anything. I'm hungry. So then the waiter comes back with a food that you don't like. Like it's like maybe it's disgusting or something that you're not even into, right? You're not into vegetables, then brought you vegetables. You're like, what? Why did you bring this? I don't like this. You said anything, right? So we shared to our friend that because he said he had many different dates that it didn't turn out the way he wanted to do. In fact, he didn't like it because in that analogy, because maybe he said just any girl, right? Anybody, right? And then he got anybody, he didn't want it, right? So the analogy is when you're specific, even like a spouse or a partner, right? You're basically telling God exactly the kind of not the exact person, but the kind of person, like the qualities,
Yeah.
what this person is kind of like, right? And the more specific you are, the more clear, um, God, will put it and align it towards you, right? Which is a powerful concept when we heard it. Again, that's a better answer because we read, we listened. Um,
Yeah, and it's amazing because
it came from a wise, right?
oh yeah, from the mentors. So even in our journey, like when we started the online business, we were working full time in our corporate jobs. I used to work in finance, and he used to work as a general manager. So at the time, I really wanted to quit our jobs, but then we wrote it down specific what we want to happen, what kind of income we want, what kind of you know um, the things that we want in order for us to quit our corporate jobs. And lo and behold, when you're very specific, God will provide. Even at the time I was working, before that I was working different shifts, right? Like I have like at night, um, like I was working um, weekends. So I asked the Lord, okay, Lord, I want a job, in the beginning, that I want Monday to Friday. I want certain hours only. I want specific income per hour that I want, right? And when you ask, He will give it to us. And then, after that, I said, okay, I wanted actually to quit my corporate job, and it's really the power of just writing it down. Because if you're just thinking, you're not very clear on what you want to order.
Yeah, and so in that course that we purchased now, we use it every month. It's called the
Mm-hmm.
Monthly Mentor. It talks about writing your 1 year goal and then a long term
Yeah.
goal. Many of the things we've wrote in there, which is kind of we
Yeah.
get goosebumps right now, is that it has happened. Not in the time frame we want. Sometimes, many times actually,
Mm-hmm.
but it has happened. For example, very specific. We want to generate 100 leads for the year. We don't know what a lead is, right? Now we
Or
can do
subscribers and
subscribers or whatever. We can do that in a weekly basis now. We put down we want to earn 5,000 passive income, and we don't even know like that. If that happened, that's like a dream come true, right? And that happened many years ago, and we've you know
surpassed that.
quadrupled,
Yeah.
many x that, right? So as a passive income, it's just because we wrote it down. It's
Mhm.
really really
It's
crazy.
not because we're better or like we're special.
Of
Not,
course, of course, that's just the first thing. Of course, you have to do the work. You have to
yeah,
do the things that is needed to achieve it. But it starts with writing it down,
yeah. Write down like,
making very clear what your desire is, specifically
yeah.
describe it.
It's so crazy. Like we also write down, okay, what we want in a house,
Yeah.
right? We want like, okay, we want a certain how many bedrooms, finished basement, two-car garage, um, certain what you call that, certain square footage, and which area, right? And brand new or like less than 2 years old. And it's crazy when you write it down and when you look back, it happened. It's either that exact thing or something better.
The reason we brought this up because this guy, uh, very successful in business, and he said that we have never heard that concept but come to think about it, I write everything down
Oh
in
yeah, in
business.
business, yeah,
Um,
because he's very successful in his business, real estate, and
uh,
he said he write it down.
so
Yeah,
I write everything down in business, but in my personal life, I don't. So I'm gonna try this because I've never done it, and
I told him, we're excited for you. Just make sure you invite us in your wedding.
yeah, we can't kind of read your comments, but I see some comments that says debt free,
Hold on.
including becoming debt free. We wrote that down specifically, right? And how many months it will take for us.
Yeah. Hello, Beth. Watching from Las Vegas. Congratulations on being debt free. Thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. It's Jerry Saint Austin Saint Louis from PA. What is PA? I think
Pennsylvania, I believe.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read.
We're on our phone.
We're on our phone right now. Yeah. Hello, Monica. Hello, hello. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So one of the takeaways we wanted to talk about this today is because we kind of taken it lightly, but we've actually are doing this on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, and that's why we've kind of achieved many in our goals in our vision board, because we've made it a habit to write things down.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask God specifically what you want, because at the end of the day, if it's not good for you, He won't give it to you. And of course, tell Him like, Lord, this is what I want. Give me, what's best for me, right? But if you don't ask, right, of course He won't give it to you, right? Like if you look back in your life, for somehow you'll realize that you either ask for it or you don't, and you just let life pass you, right? So be specific on, in every area of your life, right? I even write down what kind of a kid we want, right?
Yeah.
I put in like,
not the exact, like the features or
no,
whatever,
not the
but
exact,
kind
but
of the personality.
yeah, active, loving, sweet, you know, um, caring and all that. Like, we wrote it down. Like, Lord, thank you that I want a baby boy that's active. Like, he's very active. Yeah, funny and all that. So you really write down like specifics, and don't be afraid to ask big, like bold prayers, because we have a big God, a loving God and generous God.
I hope that gave you value, and my challenge to you is, if your goal is finances, write down exactly how much, right? Or if you want to get out of debt, exactly how long you want to get out of debt. Be specific, right? If you're like my friend, you're looking for a partner. It's like, because he asked us, do I put down 5 things? I said, no,
Oh yeah, he asked. Okay.
I said, put everything you want in, because he likes to watch hockey. So I said, watch hockey with you.
Yeah,
all
like,
this stuff.
like I told him, okay, if hockey is important for you, just write it down. I want someone that loves hockey as much as I.
The reason
I
why
do.
we know this works, because we shared with her, like, Roxanne's sister, right? Specifically wrote down the qualities of the husband he wanted, and she read it in the morning, in the evening, and it happened fairly quickly, like within 6 months. And now he's married to, and the details was scary, like like clean meals or something, like really detailed.
Yeah, I was like, because my sister
Very
wants
friendly.
very friendly, like plays basketball,
Yeah.
clean hands, tall. Of course, goes to church, like, certain things. I was
Yeah.
like, why would you ask like clean hands and all that? It's like, because it's important for me. So whatever that is, because we all have different values, different preference, right? So with our friend, we asked him certain things. Okay, what kind of race you want, right? He's from Iran, right? But he said he's more into Asian, right? Or
Yeah, we didn't even know. So,
yeah,
anyways, yeah, the point of the matter is, you want, when the more specific you are, the more easier for the giver to give it to you,
yeah,
right? So, and if you're a believer like us, you're a Christian, God can easily. I mean, God wants you to be very specific on what you want, so that He can align it, and He can provide it to you very, very clearly, and you know that it came from God when it happened, right?
yeah. And but it's good when you do that, because when it happens, you can give him the glory, right? So
So
yes,
you can even get a picture, like, for example, our house.
oh yeah,
We described it, but we also got a picture. Kind of, it's freaky, because the house on our vision board is not very. It's pretty close.
it's pretty close.
to what our house looks like now. So, anyways, I hope that gave you value. I challenge you to ink it. Comment in the chat.
Ink it. Yes, write it down.
Write it down. Don't just think it, but ink it. Comment,
Yeah.
ink it. Whatever goal that is, be bold, declare it, and ink it, and write it down. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're gonna be here for the next couple more days in Vancouver. God bless everybody.
God bless you. Bye.